For my first review of War Thunder's Sons of Attila update, I could have chosen one of the more popular vehicles like the F-16C or the MiG-29 SMT, but instead I chose this tank, the Rank 6 10.0 battle rating Chinese MBT-2000, also known as the Al-Khalid in Pakistan, which translates to the Immortal or Eternal tank, which is an appropriate name for this machine given my experience. It's a collaborative design between Pakistan and China that started in 1993, with the first ones rolling off the production line in 2001. This tank was built to withstand everything from the hottest deserts to the highest mountains, and occasionally being shot at by other tanks. I think that this tank is extremely strong and is a must-own for anybody that plays high-tier China. The main gun has amazing penetration values in addition to some of the thickest made-in-China armor that is only beaten out by stellinium itself. I had a great time playing this tank. Across 80 battles, I held a consistent 2 KD with a 55% win rate, and every death felt like it was my fault and not like the tank was holding me back. The MBT-2000 is a speed demon, with a top speed of 43 miles per hour and a reverse speed of 20 miles per hour. Thanks to the tank only weighing 48 tons and it packing a 1200 horsepower engine, this tank feels responsive and maneuverable with its power to weight ratio of 25 horsepower per ton. Regardless of terrain, you'll be hitting the speed limit of this tank consistently, and it feels like it wants to give more. This engine sounds like you're redlining the entire time you're pressing the gas. The main cannon on this tank is the 125mm ZPT-98, which is the same cannon that you find on the ZDZ-99 Stage 2 and 3. It has a 7.1 second reload, which gives you a rate of fire of 8.4 rounds per minute. The gun depression maxes out at -6 degrees, but if you look at the tank, you'll see that the turret is mounted at a downward angle, so you're actually getting more gun depression than that. This does come back to hurt the tank slightly with the cannon's maximum elevation of 14 degrees, but again, in practical use, it's lower than that because of the turret's downward angle. When you first unlock the tank, you'll get access to the standard Chinese rounds of DTP-125 Heat FS, which can pin a maximum of 480mm of armor, and DTB-125 HE, which can pin a maximum of 45mm of armor. We all know that it's a pain to use both of these shell types at top tier, and you'll be in for one hell of a slog because you won't unlock this tank's only dart until you reach rank 3 modifications. There you'll find the 125 I APFS DS with a max pin of 466mm. Around 10.0 battle rating, there's not many tanks that can hold up to a shot like that. Later on, as a rank 4 modification, you can also unlock the DTB-12 125 high explosive variable time fuse shell. This shot features a pretty decent trigger radius of 7 meters with a TNT equivalent of over 5 kilos, so it's perfect for taking out a helicopter that just wants to sit still or one that's rushing you. I always like to pack a couple of these along with the darts. The tank can cram in 49 shells in total, but the revolving autoloader can only hold 22, so I wouldn't carry any more than that. When you look at the MBT-2000 with the armor inspector, this is where the typical Chinese top-tier superiority shines. With the FY2 ERA blocks on the front of this tank, you get an effective armor thickness anywhere from 5 to 700mm of armor. Even top tier rounds would have trouble punching through that much armor. The tank does still feature the common weak spots though, with the lower front plate and the gun manlet. The designer should have put those ERA blocks on the side too, because the armor there only ranges from 90 to 165mm thick. That's thin enough that even autocannons would be able to take you out with ease. Playing the MBT-2000 takes restraint. When I first started playing this tank, I put the engine to good use, and I was finding myself deep in enemy territory with no teammates to support me. The best way to play this tank is to speed into an early game power position and use this tank's outstanding armor while you're pinning through everything that you can see. After I learned to take my foot off the gas, I found that this tank fits my playstyle perfectly. I'm consistently getting an ace every couple of games, and I even got close to dropping a nuke in my first 10 matches. If you're grinding through the higher tiers of the Chinese ground tech tree, you'd be absolutely crazy to not pick up the MBT-2000. It also doesn't hurt that China's top tank, the WZ-1000 I, was moved over to be right after the MBT-2000. I'm trying out a new style with this review, so leave a like if you liked it, and if there's something you think that I could change to improve these reviews, then leave it in the comments.